Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, if you'll notice, this deck is not numbered. This is not exactly a legal deck. This is my fun deck that I play around the shop with, have a ton of fun with it. It is Princess Twilight Sparkle. Now, if we read Princess, yeah, I know, we definitely have to have a Rule 0 discussion before each game, because I'm using all three of the HasCon promos of the My Little Pony. So, Princess Twilight Sparkle is a white and a blue. 2/2 flyer, other alicorns, horses, pegasi, ponies, and unicorns get +1/+1. Okay, some of that's actually useful. Now, for Wooburg, if you control Applejack, Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, and Rarity, every pony wins the game. So if you have out these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures, and have Wooburg, everybody wins. You can just draw it. The problem with that is that only Rarity, of those named cards, only Rarity exists. We have Nightmare Moon, which here in the winter in the U.S. it's easy to play at nighttime. So, and then we have Rarity. Now, Rarity is okay. Rare mythic spells you cast cost 1 less. Awesome, right? It's very unfeeling. Now, her ability, the revealing the toy. Obviously, I've never used. I don't own the toy. But here's the thing: our commander's ability can't be ever successfully used because of Rarity. Of the lack of the other 4 cards. Or can it? Now, we have to go a little bit into Silver Border rules here, and furthermore, the Rule 0. Spy Kit. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has all names of non-legendary creature cards in addition to its name. Now, we know Rarity is legendary. So, we can slap this on any creature and it will game every name. Now, Applejack, Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, the rest, whatever, we don't know those are legends. Those are mentioned as card names. So they're card names. We don't know if they are legendary or not. So here we go. The gray realm of Silver Border. So how we've been working it is you slap the Spy Kit, it gets all of them. If you have the Spy Kit, Rarity, and your commander, you can make everyone win the game. Now, I've only been able to pull this off 1 time, as you can imagine. I don't have tutors in the deck. But what the deck is actually a 5-color enchantment deck. I've always wanted to do a 5-color enchantment deck, even though this is more like 4-color. Red is not very represented. So, but first, let's start off with our ramp, shall we? We have all the ramps. Coalition Relic, Cultivate, Kodama's Reach. I'm trying more tilt this time, and I don't know that it's working. Farseek, Rapid Growth, Fertile Ground. Now, maybe I should have more Fertile Ground type enchantments in the deck. Utopia Sprawls, Overgrowth, whatever, but 5-color, I didn't want to get too far out there, 3 visits. The artifacts, of course, we have our Felwar Stone, Chromatic Lantern, Soul Ring, Commander Sphere. And do have some enchantment ramp, The Mirari's Wake doubles, the Dictate doubles, Nyx Bloom Ancient triples, so I mean that's pretty sweet. And then of course kind of a mana dork action there with the Sanctum Weaver. You'll notice there's a ton of enchantments, but that was the idea. Now we're going to go into the card draw category. Yeah, we do have just mana for spells. With Sphinx's Revelation, it's a great card. The Verduran Enchantress and the Satyr Enchantress couldn't get my hands on a Mesa. Yeah, I know. As soon as I run across a Mesa, it's going into the deck. Probably will replace one of the lands. I know I hate to do that. I never advise doing that. But the deck draws so many cards, I think I may be about 2 lands over. Enchantress's Presence is another. It's an enchantment that also does Enchantress things, so that's cool. Sylvan Library, Dictative Crufix, Bite into Thassa, Thought Reflection. And then the best card draw enchantment ever? Yep, you guessed it. Necropotence. This was kind of the main reason for it's like, man, I want to run Necropotence in an enchantment deck. Yeah. Now I have some a level of protection here. Uh, the Sphere of Safety and the Collective Restraint. Notice there's no propaganda or ghostly prison. Most of the time, I don't really need it. Collective Restraint is an amazing another 5. Yeah, you can run it in your blue-white enchantment decks or blue-green or bans or whatever, but it really, really works well with all 5 colors. There's something about you have to pay 5 per creature to attack me. And it rewards you for your land search. You know, yeah, I like it. Now we have. Let's go over to the enchantment theme a little heavier. Oath of the Ancient Wood, mounting up those counters on probably Princess. Fountain Watch, it's just a great card. Artifacts enchantments have Shroud. Yes, there is the Sterling Grove and the Privileged Position. Uh, Herald of the Pantheon probably should have been with the ramp because it does make all your enchantments cost 1 less. Helm of the Gods. This thing just you you can start like doing real damage with your commander. I mean, it is a flyer that comes out early, but wow. We have Sigil of the Empty Throne. Works very well with our Intangible Virtue. Now, granted, Intangible Virtue, probably a card that could come out. If I get that Mason Enchantress, this may be a reasonable. Yeah, it's an enchantment for a creature that needs the enchantment. But anyway, Colossification. It is silly how many times this has actually happened, where you just put Colossification on your commander and see if people can deal with it. Um, the going record is about 50% of the time they can't. Rancor. Ruined Halo is. This card has earned its place over and over again with just the I have protection from your commander. You know, I can't do anything about it. I'm not hurting you, but you're certainly not hurting me with it. There are some times when you look down and you discover that Princess Twilight Sparkle was in fact raised by giants. Had this happened in the game yesterday, I have played and iterated this deck quite a bit. So Frozen Ether is just an amazing card. Ley Line of Anticipation. I finally got a pre-game action with it the other day. It's the first time it's ever happened. Ancestral Mask, Ethereal Armor, Celestial Mantle. This card is a problem when not answered. Now I threw it on the commander that made the commander 5. You know, you can 5 somebody with commander damage, and they're like, "Ouch! Don't do that again." But it's not like a huge threat. But once you start doubling, I was 994 life, I believe. Still lost. I lost to commander damage, which is proof that commander damage does need to be a thing. Spirit Link. Spirit Link is, yeah, it's a blast from the past. I know it may not be as powerful as some would like, but it's an old favorite of mine. I love it. We could you know, with the Spirit Link and the Celestial Mantle, I could go off in a life gaining enchantment direction and with like Test of Endurance, because I think we're about to get a reprint of that, aren't we? And have more ways to win besides just making angels or beating with the commander. I guess Destiny Spinner. See, this one, I don't really. Creature enchantment spells can't be countered. I've with this particular deck, I've never had that be an issue, and I've never used that second ability. So this is so far just an enchantment that procs a trigger. Uh, it'll probably be taken out for something a little better. Now, archetype of finality, having Death Touch, removing Death Touch from your opponents, works exceptionally well with Trample. Try to explain it to somebody that don't know the rule, and they look at you like you're trying to sell them a used car or something. A Johnny's Chosen. Make it another, you know, some more tokens. Not amazing, but here again, that's another spot. That's where the Mesa Enchantress needs to go in that slot right there. Yeah. Now, we do have the replenish because there are board wipes out there for enchantments. People do run them. I run them. Replenish can get them all back. Now, let's go into our removal. Obviously, we do, you know, that was not a whole lot of creatures, so we are running a little bit of board wipes. Now, the Winds of Wrath is obviously in there. Wrath of God, Phyrexian Rebirth, and Supreme Verdict for, you know, plenty. If you want to count Aetherize as 5, but Aetherize only punishes pretty much the person that's attacking you. Return to Nature, Disenchant, more valuable now than ever. I am my other deck that I have been like really playing a lot is Kibo, the new Jumpstart 22 one, and that has taught me that since Brothers War came out, there's more artifacts out there than ever. So your spot removal is invaluable. Only run one counterspell in the deck, Arcane Denial, and that is mainly for the Tranquility type effects. Aura Shards. So, I mean, it's a beautiful card. And then Oblivion Ring. Yeah, I think there's better spots, better items for Oblivion Ring as well. As I said, I'm not listing this deck. I'm not numbering it. It's not going to be up on the wall. This is one of Brian's fun, fun decks I play around the shop. So let's look at our lands. Our fourth and final illegal card, the Enchanted Prairie. Now, the Enchanted Prairie, I don't think is that far off. This is not a bridge too far. It's one of the playtest cards. Comes in a play tap, you get white or blue. It's an enchantment land. We have artifact. I mean, we already have enchantment lands in Urza Saga. Um, I feel like this is a win and not an if. We're going to get this. And then this won't be, you know, playtest. We tried to get as many multi-lands as I possibly could. The Exotic Orchard. I have these in no specific order. Zagastraum, Murmuring Bosk, City of Brass, Path of Ancestry, Evolving Wilds. Weirdly enough, I do not have a Terramorphic. I have just 2 Pain lands, the Ledivar Waste and the Yavimaya Coast. And all of the rest of all 6 of these, if you'll notice, the Stomping Ground, the Tangled Islet, well, not all of that one, Woodland Chasm, Radiant Grove, and Cinder Glade are all forest / something else. So that way you can go get them with your grab a forest cards, you know. And then lastly, we have our Crows and Verge to also go get a forest card, playing card. And then couple that with the old basic lands, and that is Princess Twilight Sparkle. It is a ton of fun to play. I love it. Yes, I have it in. Um, should have probably done this at the very beginning. These are Dragon Shield, the Dragon Shield Christmas. This is also my playmat that I'm using. I love, love, love these sleeves. Um, they are brushed. It's not Dragon Shield. You know, I need to do just a whole video on the Dragon Shield line. They are proud new sponsors of the channel, so going forward, you will see all of my decks in Dragon Shield sleeves. I have played these quite a bit. I generally play this deck at least once a day uh, because it is funny. A lot of people. I've never had anybody, say no. I don't agree to Princess Twilight Sparkle. That's just too powerful. It just doesn't happen. And quite frankly, she is just a vessel for the five colorness. But Dragon Shield Christmas sleeves, I love it because he's, it's on a red-nosed dragon eating Krampus. It's beautiful. Anyway, I know it has been a while since my last video. Holidays, am I right? So, uh, thank y'all so much for being patient, being understanding. My goal is to get back heavy on it in the new year. We're going to try to do this, try to get back to daily because as we have found out, I could talk forever. Anyway, love you guys. I appreciate everything. And it is time to shuffle and cut.